in this example, we're told that the function y equals f of t represents the average snow depth, y, of the snow base at Buck Hill in inches t days after opening for the season. All right, so we have some function. We've got a description of what that function is. We don't really have any data, right? But the first part of this question is just asking us to interpret the statement f of 15 equals 8. All right, what does that mean? F of 15 equals 8. Okay, so remember that the function represents the snow base, and the input is days, right? So this is the input, right? So this is, actually, let me put it this way. So this is t. So this is saying t is equal to 15 days, right? Because the input is t, the number of days after opening for the season, all right? This 8 is the value of the function, and the value of the function represents the snow depth, right? So this is your y value, and it's saying that this is 8. It's snow depth, and it's in inches, okay? So now I want to interpret this using a sentence. So what this is telling me is that 15 days after opening, the snow depth is 8 inches. The snow depth is 8 inches. Okay. So you see, we've used the units. The units are, in this case, the snow depth is measured in inches, so we're using inches, and the time is measured in days, right? So it's 15 days. All right. What is the independent variable, and what is the dependent variable? All right. We have y equals f of t, right? And this is the independent variable. It's the input, right? Input is the independent variable, right? Because we can vary that independently, and then the output depends on the input. So this is dependent, right? So we can say that the snow depth depends on the day. And that makes sense, right? Because if I give you a day, there should only be one snow depth for that particular day that was measured, right? If I gave you a snow depth, there could be more than one day that had that snow depth, depending on the weather and whether we've had snow or whether it's been melting. All right. How would f of 15 equals 8 be written as an ordered pair? So if we were going to graph this function and we wanted to put this point on the graph, what would be the ordered pair? Well, the input, or the independent variable, goes on the horizontal axis. Goes on the horizontal. That's the convention, is that the independent variable goes on the horizontal axis. And so that means that the dependent variable goes on the vertical axis. Okay. And so as an ordered pair, if we're going to graph this, it would be the pair 15, 8. All right, because the variable and the independent the variable that comes first is always the horizontal coordinate, right? And that's going to be the independent variable. The dependent variable goes on the vertical axis. All right. I will meet you for the next example.